Hello, this is Samuel Karlsson from HiCreation, and today I'm going to show you how to create a source using the HiCreation control panel. And a source in HiCreation terminology is the logic that defines what data should be pulled from a source system and when. And our focus for today will be on creating one of the most commonly used sources on the HiCreation platform today, which is a GetOrders from Shopify source. And that is most commonly used by e-commerce companies that are looking to automate the transfer of orders from Shopify to then post it most likely into a third-party logistics company's FTP location, for example. Before you watch this video, I want to recommend you to have a look at our two previous videos, which indicates how to create a key. And also, in order for you to get an overview of how a source refers to a destination, I would also look into the anatomy of a stream video as well. But if you watched them already, you're good to go. So the first thing we need to do is to navigate to the sources section on the left side menu. And thereafter, create source. From here, we will be asked to provide a title to the source. So here we can name it, for example, GetOrders Shopify. And we will then be asked to select a system. So here we have a predefined drop-down list of all the systems that are currently available on the HiCreation platform. And we will see that Shopify is one of them. So I can select that. And as I select the system, you will see that the source function gets already pre-populated. So here's a drop-down list of all the source functions already existing on the platform. And you will see that GetOrders is one of them, so I can select that. An important note here is that any invited third-party developer, system integrator, or web development agency can easily add their own systems and functions to the platform. And the drop-down list that we saw now is what currently exists on the platform. You will also have seen that the key was pre-populated, and the key is what allows HiCreation access to Shopify in this case. So that's why it's important to have created the key, in this case a Shopify key, before setting up the source. We then have triggers, and the triggers is basically the logic that defines when a source should run. And here we have three predefined options. The first one is a manual trigger, so that basically allows a control panel user to trigger the source directly from the control panel. This is well suited for sources that are scheduled to run quite seldom. So for example, if a company is looking to undertake quarterly product updates, this would be a good solution for them. It's also good to use when you're first setting up a stream in order to test it properly. Secondly, we have a webhook. So webhook is what it sounds like. It's well suited for systems that are handling web events well. So one such system could be Shopify, for example. So then the source would trigger, for example, each time a order is being placed on Shopify. And then lastly, we have the trigger scheduled. So this option allows us to manually schedule for when a source should run. So here we could, for example, use cron to say, so here the cron job is scheduled to run at the full hour every hour. But for those of you that are not yet fluent in cron, you can easily just access the cron tab guru directly from the control panel. And you will see that this is at minute 0 past every hour. So it will basically translate the cron expression to plain text. Coming back to the control panel, the last thing I will do now is to select the manual, because now we're setting up a stream for the first time. So as mentioned, then this is a good option. Lastly, we will then look into the settings box. And when you're selecting a trigger that is either manual or scheduled, the setting box becomes important. Because as mentioned in the beginning of this video, what we're looking to do now is to send orders from Shopify, most likely to a third-party logistics company's FTP location. And we're then not looking to, of course, send all the orders that is currently in Shopify to the FTP. We want to apply a range of filters for what we're sending through. So here we can easily access our external documentation that is now publicly available to anyone. So we can navigate to setting up an integration, then select the source function. And from here, you can easily find some of the most commonly used filters. I can copy that directly from here and then paste it in. So in short, what these filters are stating is that we're only fetching orders which has been placed within the last 2 hours. We're also only pulling orders that are with the financial status paid or partially refunded, and with the fulfillment status unfulfilled and the Shopify status open. So this means that we're only sending the relevant orders to the third-party logistics company for them to then process, so that we then can fulfill it on the way back to Shopify. With that, we can save the source. And that is how easy it is to set up a get orders from Shopify source in the high creation control panel. Next up, we will look into how to create a post files to FTP destination.